We're going to do a deep dive on the personal loans offered by OneMain Financial. OneMain offers loans to people who can't get a loan from a traditional bank or credit union. They have 1,300 storefronts in 44 states. Because OneMain is dependent on state law, they are not available in all states, but OneMain does lend in most states. These are the states that they do not lend in. But the question is whether they would be a good option for you. We've spent years working in the lending industry and we track dozens of lenders. We'll break down OneMain so you can see whether they would be a good option for you. First, let's look at how much you can borrow from OneMain. They will lend as little as $1,500. That's a pretty good minimum amount if you are looking for just a little bit of money to cover a monthly shortfall. If you are looking for a more substantial amount of money, OneMain's top amount is $20,000. OneMain has terms that run from 2 to 5 years. These are pretty standard terms for a personal loan. However, if you are borrowing a couple of $1,000s, you do not want to take 2 years to pay it back. That means paying interest a lot longer than you should for a loan of that size. Now let's look at the cost of their loans. OneMain's minimum APR is 18%, and their top APR is 35.99%. For people with poor credit, these are pretty good rates. If you've got fair to good credit, there's a good chance you could do better. OneMain's origination fee structure can be a little bit complicated. Their fees range from 1% to 10%, but in some cases it could be a flat rate of $25 to $500. Why the confusion? It all depends on state law. I suspect they are maximizing what they can charge in each state instead of just keeping things simple. The origination fee does not actually increase the cost of the loan. The origination fee is in the APR. Companies charge an origination fee because they can claim it as revenue immediately. Money made on interest must be earned over time. You want a lower origination fee if you plan on paying your loan off early. Paying off early will save you a lot of money on interest that you would have paid, but you don't get a reimbursement for the origination fee. Now let's look at the credit score you would need to be approved. OneMain targets customers who have poor to fair credit scores. Just over half of their borrowers have credit scores below 620. I believe that OneMain will lend down into the mid-500s. Of course, the lower you go down in their ranges, the less likely you are to be approved, and the more likely they will encourage you to secure your loan to be approved. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. OneMain will allow you to include a cosigner on your application. A cosigner is someone who agrees to pay off the loan if you fail to repay it. If you do have a spouse or a loved one that has a stronger credit profile than you do, adding them as a cosigner can help you get approved. If you can get the loan that you need without a cosigner, you should not include one. OneMain offers unsecured loans, but they also offer secured loans. This would be where you'd put up the title to your motor vehicle as collateral on the loan. If you default on the loan, they can repossess your car. More than half of OneMain's personal loans are secured with the title of a motor vehicle. I generally think that a personal loan should not be secured. There's no reason to risk making your financial situation even worse by losing an important asset like your motor vehicle if you run into additional trouble. However, it is often easier to be approved for a secured loan or be approved for more money. So if you're having trouble getting approved, a secured option might solve your problem. OneMain's late fee policy doesn't provide much clarity on what you would actually pay. They will charge between $5 and $30, or 1.5% to 15% of the late amount. This is all based on the state in which you live, but they only clarify it in your loan agreement. I will say that 15% of the late amount is an eye-popping number, so you will want to be really cautious about the fine print if you decide to take a loan from OneMain. OneMain will also charge an NSF fee, or a non-sufficient fund fee. If your check bounces or an ACH draw fails, they will charge you between $10 and $50. $50 seems so outrageously high, I have to double check it every time I see it. If you tend to be chronically late on your payments, a OneMain loan could end up being really expensive for you. You can apply for a OneMain loan online, or you can go into one of their 1,300 storefront locations. OneMain will decide whether to lend you money within minutes of your application being submitted. You can get the money deposited in your bank account the next business day. You can also get the money on the same day if you go into one of their stores. There are a few issues that I need to bring up when it comes to OneMain Financial. OneMain has several different kinds of insurance that they will try to get you to buy. The cost of the insurance will not be accounted for in the APR, so paying for the insurance could make borrowing from OneMain Financial more expensive than you expected. I believe this is one of the reasons that they like to issue secured loans. It gives them an opportunity to sell additional insurance that doesn't need to be accounted for in the APR. If the loan has a lower APR, but you've layered on a couple of forms of insurance, the loan is much more expensive than it looks. In fact, they might actually encourage you to put up your title of your motor vehicle, even if it's not necessary. You do need to know that they cannot require you to buy the insurance. Otherwise, it would have to be accounted for in the APR. That kind of leads to the second issue, sales pressure. If you go into the store to complete the process, you might be subjected to some sales pressure. They may pressure you to buy the insurance, or they may not want you to take the loan agreement so that you can compare it to other offers. Don't let sales pressure keep you from shopping around. The last issue we need to talk about is that they don't make it easy to pay the loan off early. I am most concerned about this one because you should go into any personal loan with a plan to pay it off early. When you make extra payments to OneMain, you are just prepaying future payments rather than paying down the principal. That just means that you are paying for the interest before it has even been accrued. You don't actually save money on interest by making an extra payment. To apply extra payments to principal, you need to call and work directly with their customer service team. We have heard a few customers report that it is a very difficult process. One customer flat out said that they were never able to do it. Let's summarize the personal loans from OneMain Financial. OneMain may appear to be one of the cheapest lenders for people with poor to fair credit scores, and they may be. But you do want to look out for their insurance add-ons and the difficulty in paying the loan off early. Those things could actually make the overall cost of the loan much higher than it looks. One of the most important things that you can do is to shop around. Lenders that help people with less than perfect credit scores often have very different algorithms for deciding whether to approve you. You might be declined by one only to be approved by an even better option. That's why it's so important that you apply to at least 3 or 4 lenders before you settle on making a decision. One of the most efficient ways of shopping around is to visit our marketplace page at the Yukon Project. We've tried to make shopping around easy. If you visit our marketplace page, you can apply to any one of our featured lenders. Behind the scenes, we will check your rate with up to 40 other lenders. Our partners use a soft credit check, so applying won't hurt your credit score. We will show you all of the approved offers so that you can pick the loan that's best for you. If you have any questions that we did not address, leave a comment below. If you found this video useful, please like it and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.